Looking Inside the Stainless Sensation, the most incredible story in automotive history by Alexx Michael.
What was the most interesting thing that you discovered while we did the research for the book, when I showed you documents?
Oh, I think some of the, I'm finding it difficult to answer it with any specific reference, but some of the internal memo correspondence between John and some of the staff in New York that, you know, we would never have had a reason to see.
Yeah.
Particularly during the early days, I found intriguing. I mean, some of it, to be honest, made me shudder because it confirmed again to me that you know, John, in a way, was continuing to behave as if he was still at General Motors.
Yeah.
He could never adapt to the tiny company that we were. I think it's where, you know, people like me, coming from a much smaller company background like Jaguar and then Reliant, and even Chuck Bennington, who came out of Chrysler, but came out, you know, worked within smaller divisions of Chrysler around the world, in places like Turkey.
Oh.
You know, where, you know, he was again running a very small company. We adapted far better to the day-to-day running of a specialist car operation, which is what we were.
Yeah.
Than ever John did. So yeah, some of that stuff was fascinating.
And what do you think about the fact, you know, that like the British government, because remember when we went to the National Archive in London, and there are some documents that are still locked away until like 2077. Because in my opinion, I think if John would have been the bad guy, they would have released those documents the next day. But like,
I agree.
Instead, they decided
they're hiding something.
Yeah.
It's no doubt they're hiding something. It's difficult to know what it is, but because I you know, I researched quite a lot when I wrote my first book.
Yeah.
And I actually went to the archives, and I was surprised then to see just how little I could find that related to DeLorean. What I never found was what I know you and one or two other people have found, that there is documentation that will not be declared until 2064 or whatever it is. It bewilders me because we have something called the 30-year rule.
Yes.
And the documents that I saw were released in accordance with the 30-year rule, which coincided with the time that I was looking for stuff for my book.
Yeah.
So I think once I'd found stuff relating to that had been released in the 30-year rule, I never really went beyond that.
Oh.
But it is intriguing as to what on earth they think needs to be hidden away.
400 years.
It's not exactly national security.
Yeah. I'm just used to things like that from, you know, when they killed Kennedy, you know, that like those files are locked away. But I mean, in relation, you know, like a car and killing the president, there is like a big difference, you know. And so it's like, God knows what the government has to hide, that they said like, okay, we have to lock this away for 100 years. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
Where we are going, we don't need roads. Oh!